This is lesson 10.5, capacity, the parent help video for grade 3 everyday math. There's only one vocabulary word in this unit, and it's actually 4 words, but it's capacity of a container. And what that means is how much a container will hold. So if I have a container here, whatever can fit inside this container, okay, let's say it's a paper bag or a rectangular dish here or something, whatever you can fit inside there is the capacity. Okay, maybe it's a glass, alright, or a cup, or whatever, however, if you can fill it up, however high you can fill it up, that's the capacity. And capacity is going to be measured in different things depending on what you're putting in. Okay, the capacity for, let's say, little rice grains is going to be different than, say, the capacity for pencils or something. Okay, so this is going to hold many, many more little tiny things than it would bigger things. And we have different units of measure that we use in everyday life. So, for example, if we're talking about liquids, we're probably measuring it in ounces. Okay, if we're talking about something else, like grains of rice, we might measure it in pounds. Okay, or we might measure it in kilograms or grams. Okay, so there's a lot of different units of measurement, and units of measurement that we actually go back and forth between, depending on what it is we're measuring. And so we have to use multiplication facts to go back and forth between these customary units of measurement, and we want kids to be able to do that too. We want them to know, oh, okay, there's 1,000 grams in a kilogram, so if I have 1,000 grams of rice, that means I have 1 kilogram of rice. And 1 kilogram is about 2 pounds, so that's good to know at the 3rd grade level. About 2 pounds, it's actually 2.2. But these are all common equivalencies for these common units, these customary units. So in order to figure out how many pounds, I have to take the number of kilograms and multiply by 2. In order to figure out how many grams, I have to take the number of kilograms and multiply by 1,000. So it's those certain kinds of things that we want kids to get some practice with. So whether it's with weight, whether it's with distance, you have, let's say 1 kilometer here. In this 1 kilometer, there's 1,000 meters. So, we want kids to be kind of thinking about that sort of thing, and you can help with that just by asking, oh, well, this is 1 kilometer, so how many meters is that? Alright, how many kilometers is in a mile, for example? When you're measuring food, or when you have, say you have a jar of peanut butter. Well, this says it's 16 ounces. How many pounds is that? Well, 16 ounces equals 1 pound. So it's that sort of everyday experience for kids that we want them to be noticing. The last lesson asked you to look at nutrition labels on the home link. And nutrition labels will also generally tell the weight of an item. So you can look at those weights, and it'll sometimes show it in 2 different things. For example, ounces and grams. I'm looking at a jar here. Here's the jar. It says 7 ounces on the jar, and it also says in parentheses 198 grams. So you can see both units of measurement on there. And we want kids really to be paying attention to those things, so that they can learn how to go back and forth between the different units of measurement. We want them to get a good sense of what they would use to measure certain things. So, for example, if they want to measure the, let's say, the distance to the sun, if they're going to measure the distance from the Earth to the sun, okay, what are they going to measure that in? You could ask them, what would you measure that in? If they say pennies, that's not going to work. Okay, if they say grains of rice, that's not going to work. Alright, something more realistic might be kilometers or miles, something that's going to be big. You could also do it in feet, but, that would be more feet, so kilometers or miles would make more sense in that case. So you want to know, that we want to know that our kids know what units to measure when they're measuring things. If we're measuring, let's say the weight of an elephant, which we don't have too many opportunities to do that, but let's say we're measuring the weight of an elephant, that's going to be very different than what we would use to measure, the weight of a pen. Okay, so what we use to measure the weight of a pen, probably ounces. What we would use to measure the weight of an elephant, probably kilograms. Okay, or pounds. So it's good to have the conversations really with the kids and help them see where maybe they're not quite understanding, and try to figure out where those gaps are to fill them in. Also, as part of this lesson, we work on continuing to compare fractions. Just remembering that, for example, 1/2 is going to be bigger than 3. No, not 3. Yeah, sure, is going to be bigger than, say, 3/9, okay, or 1/3. So just that sort of thing, being able to put them in order from largest to smallest and smallest to largest. And also the same thing with units of measure. So just kind of working on that together. And so those are some of the things we're going to be covering today, and some of the ways you can support at home. Just keep using this information with them. Keep using these words with them. The vocabulary really helps. Keep working on multiplication facts, because that's really going to be a key strand throughout their whole lives, really, not just their math career, but their whole lives. So please keep working on multiplication facts. This is lesson 10.5, capacity for grade 3 everyday math.